Today I'll be talking about Chapter 4, Learning Objective 5, which is active listening. My name is Brad Chergy. I'm a senior, and I'm from Boone, New Hampshire. And my major is business administration. An introduction of what we'll be talking about today: active listening, the four-step process that goes into active listening, the types of listening, and I'll wrap it up with questions. Active listening, someone be kind enough to read the definition.
The cognitive process of actively sensing, interpreting, evaluating, and responding to nonverbal messages of current or potential customers.
That is the definition in the textbook of active listening. And this is a four-step process that makes active listening successful. It starts at the bottom with sensing, interpreting, evaluating, and responding. And for sensing, listening is much more than simply hearing. You have to pay attention for verbal and nonverbal components that the message is trying to be sent. And research shows that 25% of us pay attention listen at capacity. So ways to improve sensing is taking notes, making eye contact, and not interrupting. Can improve skills for sensing. Interpreting, after the message is being received, it must be correctly interpreted. Ask yourself what meaning is the sender intending. We must consider the experiences, knowledge, attitudes of the sender, understand fully what is meant. This sorts facts, opinions, and emotion, just like the pain that Professor Nato has talked about for us in class. And for evaluating, you decide if you agree or not with the sender's message, and could you pass that and have him fill in the blank?
Decide whether
For the second one, sorry.
evaluating can be approved. No. Right?
That was right, yeah.
Evaluating can be approved through better concentration of thought and consideration of the whole message.
And when you evaluate, summarize the key points that can enhance evaluating skills, the main message that was being processed in the meeting or discussion. And for responding, you can just keep passing this on. This whole is just fill in the blank, so you guys can.
Responding is both an expectation and requirement for active listening to be effective.
Two-way communication requires that the listener responds to the sender.
Nonverbal cues such as nodding and smiling can indicate a message was received.
And I asked questions, can I look to more details and clarification? Just responding doesn't verbal and nonverbal, like I said, nodding or smiling, simply show that you're into a conversation and engaging what's going on. And for conclusion, I hope you guys understood the four-step process. And this is also a quote from the textbook. I really summarized the learning objective really well. Salespeople maximize interpersonal communication by using active listening, show interest, evaluate, and respond to what the prospect is saying. Who has my first question? I have a question for you guys. Could you name the four components that go into active listening?
Sensing, interpreting, evaluating, responding.
Yeah.
Who's up next? Brad? Brad, go ahead. Power yours up. We'll let Brian step off to the side. So let's give Brian some feedback on what you may have observed. So what did you pick up on the presentation? Go ahead.
It was good. His last presentation, he didn't seem as confident, and this time he seemed a lot more comfortable up there.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Any other observations?
Spoke up a little.
Spoke up a little. Yeah. How could he have? What could he do better next time?
Speak a little slower.
Speak a little what? A little slower. Okay.
Maybe a couple examples.
Bingo. That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, have some examples, because it's great to have the textbook, but add context of the content. If you can't come up with a good example, who can you call for a good example?
I should have told you.
I'm only a phone call away, guys, so just give me a call and I'll give you guys some good examples. Sometimes you read this stuff, it's the first time you've ever seen it, right?
Yeah, I knew it was a short learning objective too,
Yeah.
so it would have made it more.
Yeah, so that's why we're here. We're here to learn, so give me a call and we'll help provide some examples for you. Thank you. Good job.
I'm Brad. Since I already know how everybody's doing, I will ask a different question. How do I look?
Great.
Marvelous.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. We will be going over understanding the superiority of pictures over words. So, studies show that pictures are more memorable. You're going to definitely take pictures more over bigger words. So, we'll give you an example. Gangnam Style. Come on, no laughs, really. We can all associate that since this is the coolest dance ever,
Yes.
you're gonna remember this is gonna be the coolest presentation ever.
Love it.
No, that worked out a lot better in my head. So, the verbal message should be constructed in a manner that generates a mental picture in the receiver's mind. So, in the book, it said that the example that was used was that Tropicana juices are bursting with flavor. Instead of just saying, Tropicana juices have a lot more flavor. You gotta use memorable words. The bursting with flavor is gonna be a lot better in your head. Sorry, I didn't have any thoughts. I'm kind of joking. So, you're going to use words and phrases that convey, concentrate, and detailed meaning. It goes on with the bursting with flavor instead of just using more. And then also, you want to provide more information that's kind of key. Like, instead of just saying that if you use this upgrade, your sales will go up 10%. You want to use more concrete numbers. Like, with this upgrade, you're going to sell 5,000 more products. And it's just kind of things like that. And then, impact of grammar. So you want to be able to speak really goodly to other people. You got to use real good grammar. And it says that if you don't use proper grammar, the receiver will take you in 3 ways. And the first is the meaning of credibility, then the message will significantly downgrade. 2, the receiver begins to focus on the sender rather than the message. And 3 is the receiver dismisses the sender and the sender's organization as being unqualified to perform the role of an effective supplier partner. So, it was kind of short. Who has my first question?
Come on, guys.
All right. Can anybody name one of the 2 or one of the 3 things that a sender might or receiver might think you as if you speak really goodly?
A focus more on the sender instead of the message.
If you're not using good grammar, you're going to come across less credible.
Yeah. Thank you.
So let's give Brad some feedback. Well, who's up? Eric, go ahead and power yours up now, please. So what do you guys observe with Brad? Yes. What gave you that? What gave it away?
Jumping up and down over there.
Yeah. What technique did he use a couple of times while he was up here? Exactly right. Because makes people feel at ease. Did it several times. Yeah. Anything else you observed?
Smile a lot.
Yeah. Looked like you liked what he was doing. You brought some enthusiasm. Go ahead.
Wasn't reading from the sides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you used material. What could he do? What could he do differently next time? Anything.
Wrap it together at the end. Turning it out was kind of just like, you didn't bring it all back together.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Brett. Nice job.